Relegation is top of the agenda here, especially for Waterford, who must win to have any chance of avoiding a playoff and meeting Dublin again in 2 weeks' time in Nolan Park. Here is the Waterford team, with Adrian Power between the posts. Liam Lawler and Michael Brick Walsh man the central defensive positions. Kevin Moran and Dean Toomey are an interesting centre field combination. Maurice Shanahan has been producing the goods in the attack, while John Milan's return has added a whole new dimension to the scoring potential. It's time for Dublin to experiment, so Nafiana's Martin Quilty gets his opportunity at centre-back. The experienced John McCaffrey comes in at wing-back, with Dean Curran on the other side. Scoring 1-2 against Tipperary means David Tracy deservedly gets a starting 15 position, with Rhino Dwyer a late replacement at left-half forward. The fourth and final change for the Dubs is in the full forward line, where Eamon Dillon replaces Liam Rush. John McCaffrey gets a touch. Martin Quilty is the centre half back for Dublin with the yellow jersey, with the yellow helmet rather. This is Maurice Shanahan with a yellow helmet for the opposition. Back out fares Gavin O'Brien, and that has a lovely curl in it, and it curls inside the post for Gavin O'Brien's first point of the game. Maurice Shanahan giving it out to O'Brien, and the finish was top class. Torrig Mahoney again goes down towards John Milan. His battle with Rory Traynor is going to be interesting. It's Milan into the centre. Good calling by Gavin O'Brien. Nice turn. And the finish isn't bad either. Inspired again by John Milan. Gavin O'Brien's delivery was superb. Down far is David Tracy. Flicks it inside, far as Eamon Dillon. Keeping him company, Aidan Carney. Dillon on the turn. And that is over the bar. And that's Dublin's first point since the second minute of the game. And at the moment, we're well down into the 17th minute. So 15 minutes since Dublin's last score. Down towards Eamon Dillon. Cross, it's more than a cross. That's a fantastic point off the stick of Eamon Dillon. Great score from just along the sideline. Tony Brown delivers it long. Oh, lovely stick work. Is the finish as classic? It is. Beautiful hurling by Gavin O'Brien. The ball was perfect by Brown, but the stick work, the wrist work, fantastic. Puck out comes straight to Maurice O'Brien. Didn't really connect cleanly. Philip O'Mahony is clearing an amount of ball at left corner back. Maurice Shanahan gets ahead of John McCaffrey. Got inside is John Milan. Will he go for goal? Will he take his point off the post and over the bar? There is potential in this Waterford attack. Maurice Shanahan spotting Milan, and a ricochet off the post. David Curtin onto his left-hand side, delivers it long. Michael Brick Walsh comes across. Needs the help of Liam Lawler. Good work by the full-back. In the centre, it's Dean Toomey. Down towards Shane Walsh. John Milan. Still the referee says play on. Martin Quilty is back there helping out his full back line. Gavin O'Brien intercepts, and on the turn he scores his fourth point of the game. Gavin O'Brien's stick work has been worth the admission fee alone into Fahrenfield. Waterford 12 points, Dublin 4. Oisín Goff. Down towards Ross O'Carroll, sending that one in and sending it over the bar. Well, there's an introduction of a substitute. Hardly on the field 20 seconds, and Ross O'Carroll gets the better of Philip Mahoney and gets a point. Excellent score, 13 points to 6. Dean Curran. Dara Plunkett, who replaced Niall McMurrough a short time ago, in the corner. Ross O'Carroll comes in to help. And more importantly, wins the possession. Back out first, Ryan O'Dwyer. Scoring position for the Kilmacud Crokes clubman, but he didn't take it. Dublin have now shot 17 wides. High by any standards. Steve Malumphey gets there ahead of Martin Quilty. Farazone McGrath. Oisin Goff read it well. Chop across by Gavin O'Brien. Unacceptable. Free for Dublin. This one going to drop in. It's there for Dublin, but it's Waterford that regain it. Out far is Dean Toomey, under a little bit of pressure from David Curtin. Gets it down the wing. That's a good ball from Toomey. Owen McGrath, who was fouled by Dean Curran, who is already on a yellow card. So Dublin could have further troubles, not just on the scoreboard, but indeed in terms of, yes, there's a second yellow. Dublin are down to 14 players. This was the challenge on Owen McGrath, and the referee having no choice, making the decision and sending off Dean Curran. More troubles for Anthony Daly. David Tracy, Shane O'Sullivan with him. Tracy's effort is a really good one. It's his second point of the match, and he was under tremendous pressure from Shane O'Sullivan here. But he judges the flight of the ball, hits it perfectly. Niall Corcoran gets a toe to it. Martin Quilty underneath it, has to release it. Back first John McCaffrey. All the way back to the goalkeeper Gary Maguire. Seemed to touch the ball on the ground but gets away with it. He's under pressure here. Niall Corcoran. And eventually they get it out far as their own 65-metre line. Dean Toomey underneath it. Quick ball far as John Milan. Puts the brakes on. Turns to the other side. Floats it high. And hits it straight between the posts. He's done it so many times in the past. When you're under pressure, you give it to the man with a cool head. Stephen Daniels gets a touch. Dean Toomey. Over towards Owen Kelly. What about his first touch? Is it creeping inside the goal post? Welcome back, Owen Kelly. It gives Waterford a 6-point advantage. What about that for an arrival? And a shot straight inside the post. Ball comes loose. Dublin keep the pressure on. Dara Plunkett. Dean Toomey. And that's a free in. And a chance for Dublin to try and create a goal opportunity as we now are into injury time. Hadrian Power hasn't really been tested. He reorganizes that inner line as quickly and as effectively as possible. And Ryan O'Dwyer will go for goal here, surely. Blasted. But it rises and it's gone over the bar. This just had a little bit too much height in it. A wonderful catch by Aidan Carney signals the end of this particular match. An enjoyable game, but Waterford always the masters. The final score in Fairfield Dungarvan: Waterford 17 points, Dublin 13.
I think if any management takes over, they're always going to have a few hiccups along the way, and we tried to blood a few new players. When you take the first game we played against Cork, we had 9 changes from that team today. So we've looked at 24 or 5 players over the league and trying to find out what our best players were and our best team was. So we're very happy the way it ended up. And I've always said at the end of the day, players win matches, and I thought the response from the players over the last 2 games has been fantastic.
No, but we missed too much on the day. I think we had 17 or 18 wides, Marty, and on a day, look, Waterford, to be fair, were the better team on the day. But like, if we got it back to a point or two, you'd never know what would have happened. I mean, there was real pressure on them, I suppose, rather than on us, because for sure we knew we were going to be playing in 2 weeks' time anyway in the relegation.
There was a lot of talk pre-season at the start that you weren't coming back or you were off the panel. Is all that now resolved?
You'll have to ask the manager that. I think it is. But I know it was just a misunderstanding between two fools, as I say. But like, everything's sorted. Like, the two of us only want the best for Waterford, and that's what we're doing. Like, and things are going in the right direction now, thank God.
Yeah, it may not have looked likely just a week ago, but Waterford have indeed retained their Division 1A status. Liam Sheedy, it certainly, as we said there, did not look likely just 7-8 days ago.
Absolutely, yeah, they came back from the brink. Full credit to Waterford. There's no doubt about it. There's been significant change there in the last 2 weeks. Obviously Ken McGrath and Sean Cullinan have come into the backroom team, two hugely respected characters within the Waterford setup, I'm sure. And in fairness to them, going up to Galway, they had a really good win last weekend. Their task was made a little bit easier, maybe. Dublin weren't at full strength today, but at the same time they went out and really just set a platform for their victory in the first half, and they'll be delighted. I think Division 1A is the place to be when you want to be a top tier hurling county, and Waterford have retained that, so they'll be very, very happy this evening.
Yeah, Eddie Brennan, you always want to be trying to bring in new players. Michael Ryan mentioned the change they've made over the course of the league campaign. You still need fellas like the Owen Kellys of this world, and of course John Mullane, who was very important to them today.
Surely is. I think John has developed into the leader of this attack for the last couple of years. While he wasn't at his best today, he still was the go-to man. In every aspect of their play, they were always looking up to try to find John with every ball. And I think they pulled their half-forward line very deep today. We see it from the clips. They were pulling them out to the half-forward line. This is the first bit. This one aspect of corner forward play you don't get highlighted too often. A great hook by John Mullane, and it created a simple point there for Maurice Shannon. But very good hook and putting pressure on the defence, forcing them to make a mistake. Here we have the space in front of him highlighted here. Shane Walsh himself usually playing a two-man full forward line. Acres of space for Mullane. In this particular one now, he picks it up. And, I suppose rather than taking on Rory Traynor, he turned and see what the options are. And here was young O'Brien coming across. And this is super corner forward points, just turning his man, slapping it over the bar. He got 4 excellent points from play today. Then you have a great goal chance here. Now, I suppose if John was at his 100%, he probably would have went up and hung this in the top corner or something like that. But that was a super point. Again here, when Waterford were in big water and they hadn't scored for a while in the match, they were under pressure, Dublin had come back. Super, typical John Mullane point really, when they really needed it, and I suppose they had gone quiet for a while up front. Sure. Super point.
He still has the stuff, there's no doubt about that. Anthony Daly there in the little interview acknowledged the fact that Dublin did have a lot of wides today, and they probably didn't do themselves any favours in that point of view.
No, their shooting today was quite poor, in fact. And again, I mentioned earlier on the year they looked like lads who were a little bit quite heavier, not as fit as they could be. But this is a great ball from John McCaffrey. I suppose wasteful, really look straight to a Waterford man all on his own. This is a super ball for a corner forward, but Ryan O'Dwyer obviously wasn't on the same wavelength today, and Waterford had to clear the lines. They were the balls that Paul Ryan cleaned up on last year for them. And here they have David Tracy, another one of the player that they'd be looking to for the future, and he had a couple of wides today that he'll be very disappointed with himself. But while he got 1 or 2 good points from play, there was some shocking wides, ones to be very disappointed with. Ryan O'Dwyer here, unchallenged in front of the goal. That's a very scoreable chance, and they missed quite a few of their wides today were scoreable wides.
Sure.
Even frees, I think there was maybe 5 or 6 frees that they missed as well. And I suppose in the absence of Paul Ryan, maybe their established free taker, maybe Conal Keeney when he comes back, they might rectify that.